The very first Legend of Heroes Trials game was released on June 24th, 2024. It was titled The Legend of Heroes Trials in the Sky FC. Over 20 years later, Nihon Falcom has upgraded everything they have done with the series from the first game, and now they are revisiting it by remaking the first game as Trials in the Sky First Chapter. A big thank you to Gung Ho Online Entertainment for providing a review copy of Trials in the Sky First Chapter. Estelle is an 11-year-old girl waiting for her dad to return from a bracer mission. He arrives carrying another 11-year-old boy in his arms, calling him a present for her. This boy is named Joshua, and that was the day that Estelle and Joshua first met as her dad adopted him. The game picks up 5 years later with Estelle and Joshua headed to the Bracer Guild for their final test under Scheherazade. Both of them are determined to become bracers. Scheherazade is a student of Cassius Blight, who is Estelle's father, but also a father figure to Joshua. Bracers are a part of a guild that takes on jobs from the community. Citizens pay the guild for services, and the guild passes a cut of the reward to the bracer who completes the request. The rest of the money helps keep the guild running. Since the work can involve dangerous tasks such as hunting monsters or tracking missing people, proper training and official tests are required before anyone can earn the title of bracer. You will mainly control Joshua and Estelle in Trials in the Sky First Chapter as they walk throughout cities of the Kingdom of Liberl. You need to get recommendations from the Bracer Guild branches of Rolent, Bose, Rouen, Zeiss, and Gantril. This will require you to accomplish requests for the branch. The gameplay loop will have you go to the Bracer Guild, go to the bulletin board, and take on requests from the guild. These requests can range from finding lost items or fighting monsters on the roadside. There will be optional requests and required requests to advance the story of the game. Optional quests will give you Mira, the currency of the country, items, and BP. BP are bracer points. You advance your junior bracer rank by grabbing enough bracer points to rank up. When you rank up, you will get rare items or quartz. The combat in Trials in the Sky First Chapter got a big upgrade thanks to the engine it was built on. It incorporates action combat in the field, and you can switch to turn-based mode at any time. If you transition to turn-based mode while an enemy is stunned, you can have one of your characters do a chain attack immediately after starting combat. If you do a normal attack and it is a critical hit, you can have a party member do a chain attack or even use a strike attack, which is when you have both characters team up to do an attack. During turn-based combat, you can attack, use an art, use a craft, use an item, or guard. Enemies have a stagger gauge. Once the gauge is filled, it stuns the enemy. If you use an action that damages an enemy while stunned, it automatically lets another character either chain an attack or strike attack. You can move around in combat with the left stick and change the placement of an art, attack, or craft with the right analog stick. The one thing that I dread when I go back to play the original Legend of Heroes Trials in the Sky FC is the balance. The game constantly bombards you with large swaths of enemies, and it can feel overwhelming when a lot of the game is just playing as Estelle and Joshua. The real-time combat is a godsend for the remake. It helps balance the feel so much better. You can defeat small enemies as you dodge the big attacks from the bigger and stronger enemies. Once you stun the big enemy afterwards and activate turn-based combat, it feels a lot more manageable to fight. Liberl, when you compare it to other games in the Trials series, is a much smaller region. It is also the one area where you don't really get a hub area to go back to. The place you are at is where Estelle and Joshua will need to find their own lodging and stay. Since it is smaller, it is easier to remember the locations on the map. The main cities you travel to are all on foot, so they have connected pathways to gates you will need to cross. The region itself is practically identical to the original game from 21 years ago. It is awesome to see the glow up in this new engine. Grand Cell in particular looks fantastic and has a lot of life. It really feels like it is the capital of Liberl. Trials in the Sky First Chapter looks gorgeous in action. The new cell shading on this engine looks so unique in comparison to how they do cell shading in the Trials through Daybreak games. This is like watercolor picture with vibrant colors, fantastic locales, and plenty of greenery nearby, and the architecture really shines with this remake. Going to the top of Haken Gate and looking down at the rest of the region makes everything look stunning. The Trials arcs were prototyped in the Sky trilogy. The main first game in an arc is the build-up. It it is the arc that immerses you in the world and the characters. It introduces you to the concepts of this world and how the region itself functions. Estelle and Joshua are traveling through Liberl Kingdom, but it is also the player who is traveling with them. You learn to understand the struggles of authority and how individuals matter to the whole, the problems the monarchy has, the heroes that Liberl looks up to, and even the difficulties of the Bracer Guild and the army have with each other. This isn't just a story of two people becoming bracers, it's a story that is setting up a threat to the world itself. The second game won't be as impactful if the first game doesn't succeed in connecting you to the world and characters. I can say with my own opinion that Trials in the Sky First Chapter succeeds in connecting us to this world and the characters. Trials in the Sky First Chapter benefits from the modern era with some quality of life additions. You can fast travel to towns, and you can also see the NPCs that you've already spoken to on your map, so you do not accidentally talk to someone again. You can go straight into a shop's inventory by pressing the shop button rather than needing to talk to the shopkeeper and open the menu first. I can finally answer the question, where do you start with the Trials game? It would be this game. Trials in the Sky First Chapter is a fantastic blend of the evolution of the Nihon Falcom gameplay systems with the story that was told in Trials of the Sky FC. This game is phenomenal. It has an easier customization system than Daybreak, a more refined combat system than Reverie, and it has a lot of great quality of life features that make it easier than ever to talk to every civilian and shop at the store. The cooking and recipe system is the best that the series has ever had. This is a game that I would recommend to every fan of RPG video games everywhere. I love the Castle of the Skies game, and seeing them all come alive in this system still gives me goosebumps. Trials in the Sky First Chapter will be released on September 19th, 2025 for PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. There is a demo that is available right now for those of you who want to try the game before you buy. The Outerhaven is a 100% independent website and YouTube channel, which means we succeed due to the support of fans like you that are watching now. So for more news, previews, reviews, podcasts, and much more, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell, and turn on notifications for more from the Outerhaven.